Are you watching the Seattle market and wondering if something just fundamentally shifted? Because it has. Now, for the first time this year, the median home price in Seattle and the Eastside has dropped. And nationally, prices just hit an all-time high at the same time. Now stay with me because I'm going to tell you exactly what that means for you. This shift in opposite directions. And if you stay until the end, I have something specific for you. Hey, real quick before we dive in, if anything sparks a question about your situation, direct message me, drop a comment, or grab a free 20-minute spot on my calendar. The Calendly link is in the description below. Now, back at it. Hey, by the way, Ravi with the Rams group here. We are Seattle and Eastside realtors. We specialize in relocation, work with move up, move down sellers across the region. And we are in the trenches every day working with real buyers, real sellers, and help them make real decisions. Now, every month, I take the raw Northwest multiple listing services data and tell you what it actually means, not just the numbers, but interpretation that helps you make a smarter move. Now, the gap between the national story and what's happening locally is much bigger than it has been all this year. And that gap is exactly where the opportunity sits. Now, the National Association of Realtors just reported that the national home prices hit an all-time high in June of 2026. Now, the national median sits at about $440,000 with about 4.6 months worth of supply. Now, sales is slowing, but prices are holding, surprisingly. Now, contrast that with what is happening right here in the Seattle and Eastside areas. The prices dropped for the first time this year. Unbelievable. And Snohomish at its steepest decline in the series. And Pierce still appreciating, even though it's tepid. Now, we are not following the national script here for sure. And that divergence is exactly where the opportunity sits. Now, mortgage rates hit about 6.49% this week, which is still below 6.72% we saw a year ago. Now, plan for mid-sixes for the rest of 2026. Now, the buyers who are winning right now are not waiting for the perfect moment. They're moving strategically at today's rate, leaving the door of refinance open for them, seizing the opportunity, if you will. Now, King County, which comprises of Seattle and pretty much the East Side, had the median price drop to $999,000, just shy of $1 million, just down about 4.7% from a year ago. Now, that is the first meaningful price decline in this series, and that is happening in King County. Now, inventory climbed to about 5,064 homes, up about 25% from a year ago. Now, the list price received dropped again to 99.6. Now, here's my read. Sellers who logged in at 3 to 4% rates are looking at today's 6.4-ish% rate and choosing to stay put. Logical, right? Now, that is suppressing new listings while existing inventory is building up and buyers are gaining leverage. This is how the whole pipeline is working. Now, if you are relocating to Seattle or the East, this is one of the most favorable entry points in years we've seen. More inventory, more time, real room to negotiate. Now, I ask you to visit theramsgroup.com, the link is below, for our local city pages, schools, commute times, and what your budget gets you in each area. It's got a ton of information that you'll benefit from, and it's all free. Now, switching gears, if you are a local buyer, the data supports moving right now. The prices have softened a little bit, and rates are not dropping dramatically with everything else going on. And the window is open, but will not stay open indefinitely. Something for you to heed. Now, if you're selling, currently priced homes are still moving at about 99.6% off list. That means that if you overprice, you sit. And every day, the market gives buyers more leverage against you. If you overprice, that is. Something for you to be cognizant of. After looking at King County, let's move on to Snohomish, Bethel, Linwood, and the broader corridor, if you will. The median price here dropped to $750,000, down about 6.3% from a year ago. Now, that is the steepest decline of any county this entire series, King, Snohomish, and Pierce. And yet, pending sales are up 17.1%. Buyers are super active there, just shopping at a lower price than sellers actually expected. Somebody's got to win, right? And buyers are winning there. Now, the gap between the seller expectation and the buyer reality is the whole story up in Snohomish County right now. And I showed this because I'm in King County, so it's up north. Now, if you're relocating, or considering Snohomish, $750,000 gives you considerably more room than King County and at a lower price. Now, motivated sellers on anything sitting over 3 weeks is the golden goose for you. And if you are a local buyer there, data is squarely on your side. On the other hand, if you're selling, price for where the market currently is, close that gap and you sell. Hold out and you sit. Painful. So don't do it. So after looking at King and Snohomish, let's look at Pierce County down south. Median price here rose to about $600,000, which is up about 3.4% from a year ago. Now, the only county appreciating compared to King and Snohomish is Pierce. Now, pending sales are up 11.5% here. Buyers are actively going under contract right now. Demand is absorbing supply, and prices are just not holding. They're growing in that county. Now, that's a healthy market if you ask me. Now, if you are relocating, $600,000 buys you considerably more home in Pierce County than anywhere in King or Snohomish. Okay, but with prices rising and buyers moving in, do not mistake that affordability would exist for an unlimited amount of time. If you want to act, now would be the perfect time. And if you're a local buyer, on the other hand, and not relocating, move with conviction when the right home shows up. Now, if you're selling in Pierce, you are in the strongest position of any county. Prepare well, price right from day one, and this market will absolutely reward you. Hey, by the way, in this update, I've just shared a few relevant pieces of data. However, I have access to the whole shebang. I can bombard you with data if you so choose. Just reach out to me, and this can be in any neighborhood or zip code across King, Snohomish, and Pierce, and I have all the data at the street level, okay? And I can give it to you. Hey, also, I had this direct question for you. With the national prices at an all-time high, while Seattle softens, does this surprise you at all? Drop it below in the comments and let me know, would you? I read and respond to all comments. So there you have it. 3 counties, King, Snohomish, and Pierce. 3 completely different stories. Pending sales are up in all 3. Buyers are not gone. They are just recalibrating. The underlying demand from tech, healthcare, and aerospace keeps the market from freely falling. If you are relocating, more inventory, more time, and more room to negotiate than we've seen in years. And if you're selling, pricing for today is the difference between sold and sitting. And also, if you know of someone thinking about making a move this summer, send this video their way. They might find it useful. Also, here's what I promised you at the beginning of this video for staying all the way through. I've included a link in the description that pulls up neighborhood level data for any US zip code all across the country. It's free, instantaneous, and takes about 30 seconds to set up if you've not already set it up. And that link is the ramsgroup.com data by zip code. Of course, the link is there in the description as well. And if this video raised a question, direct message me, drop a comment below, or feel free to grab a 20-minute spot on my calendar. Absolutely no pressure, no obligation, pure information sharing, and you'll be glad you did. Think about who in your circle is sitting on a decision right now. Forward this video to them. You take care and stay safe. Hi, we'll see you on the next one.